Alright, so this video is for Brian. I have your two quads fixed up. They both needed like new what was it? New ESC on this one. But then the VTX was like messing up too, so I had to swap out the VTX, and I swapped out the flight controller to see if that was the problem, which it wasn't. But finally got it figured out. This one I don't even remember because it was like a couple weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or something. I don't even remember. But oh, I know what. Oh, no, wait. I know you sent it to me, and then I had to steal the foreign one off of it for another one of your quads. I don't remember what was wrong with it to begin with, though. Shoot, I don't know, but it's good to go now. So I'm going to show you the video and then show you a hover and get these shipped out to you. So we'll start with the Shark. I already got it bound up to my radio. Only thing is, you had it on reverse props, I think, or maybe you didn't, but it was on reverse props, so it's not on reverse props now. But anyway, there's the video working. Looks good. Alright. Here we go. Damn. This thing's pretty zippy. Whoa. It's flying nice and smooth too. You can hear it. That's the exact sound that you want your quad to sound like with that size of motor anyway. But yeah, so you know how like people, they see a frame like this and they're like, oh man, I gotta use 1407s or something like that, you know. But really, I mean, what are these? These are 1105s on here, and you know, it's got plenty of power. So for anybody out there, just keep that in mind. It all depends on the frame weight, really. If you got a frame, it doesn't matter how thick it is or anything, as long as it's like under 30 grams, it's gonna be a rocket with this size of motor, 1105s. Anyway, so there you go. There's the Shark all fixed up. This one is one that I built recently, and you ended up having a problem with one of the motors. I don't know if it just wasn't spinning or if it like started messing up as you would go to take off or something, but so yeah, I swapped out the whole stack. I was just gonna swap out the foreign one, but after that VTX problem, I swapped out the flight controller too, so the whole stack is new in there. And you got a new VTX now. So you had the the Eachine 400 milliwatt. Now I've had a few of these and I've tried them out. They get really hot, but I don't know if that's a problem or not yet. I'm still gonna have to like do some testing on it and stuff, but as far as I can tell so far, they get really hot, even if it's on like 25 milliwatts. So I don't know what's up with that, but I haven't seen it be a problem yet. But either way, yours, there's something else wrong with it, because when I had it wired up to the other flight controller, like the flight controller wouldn't power up, only the ESCs would. And sometimes when that happens, it'll be like two pads that are joined together on accident or something like that. But I went through everything and everything was perfect. So, and then as soon as I desoldered the VTX, the flight controller would power up. So definitely a problem with that VTX. So you got your new VTX in here. I can't show it because it's under the canopy, but I do have another one here, and it's the nameless RC VTX, the 400 milliwatt one. And it's insanely tiny. I mean, it's smaller than the Eachine one. It's smaller than the Unify Pro 32 Nano, which I can't even believe. I'm thinking it's around the same size as the original Unify Nano. But it's just insanely tiny. And I think that they were able to get away with that because there's no button on it. So you just use the smart audio. But I mean, look at that. Compared to the Eachine one. And this one, the Eachine one is tiny. And look how much smaller this one is. So, yeah. Yeah, two reasons why they were able to get away with it being this small. One being that there's no button to change the channel on it. The other is there's no 5-volt BEC to output 5 volts to your camera or whatever. So, and that's not an issue most of the time, you know, because you can power your camera off the flight controller or whatever. But, yeah, it shouldn't normally be a problem. So, and that's how they got it so tiny, and it's like 1.5 grams. So, crazy tiny. 400 milliwatts. Okay, so this one is actually running Crossfire now because I threw in that Crossfire Nano that you sent. And you're going to notice a difference right away. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that this will be your first time trying out Crossfire. I know I just installed Crossfire on your radio, and now you're going to have a quad with Crossfire. So as soon as you hover it, you're going to be able to tell a difference. You're going to feel it right away. You're going to notice how responsive, how much more responsive it is compared to like an XM Plus or whatever. So anyway, and for you to bind it, it should be so simple for you to bind it. Let me just show you real fast. So if you're using a full-size module, all you're going to do is you're going to power up the quad, and then you're just going to hold down this button. And come on, and then there's bind. So you go down to bind and click bind, and it'll bind right up. And if it's on a different firmware than your TX, then when you click bind, it'll say receiver needs to update, okay, and you just click okay, and it'll update it all by itself, which is awesome. So that's why I love Crossfire so much. And if you got the Nano TX, then what you do is you hold down, or I already showed you in your radio video that I made for you. So you go into the Crossfire. It's different on my firmware than yours, but you go into the Crossfire, go to Crossfire Lua, and with the quad powered on. And then you'll see Nano RX. So you'll click on that, and in there it'll say bind, and you just go down and click bind. Or no, actually, sorry, it's in the transmitter. Right there. So go down to binding and just click bind, and it'll bind right up. Alright, so this one, there's your video. Looks good. It's on R5. Here we go. This is running 4.0.6. Whoa. Alright, so that's good to go. I'm going to get these boxed up and shipped out, and I'll send you over some tracking. The mailman hasn't showed up yet, so I should be able to get these out today. So, there you go. Alright, thanks, Brian.